The current project focuses on the prediction and mapping of adverse supply chain events and the impacted routes. This is important because it's not always easy to determine how current events will impact the supply chain and how the supply chain will impact shipping of essential goods. Conflict event data are pulled from the UPSALA Conflict Data Program, while supply chain route dataset was compiled from multiple sources, including Eurostat and UN Comtrade. Data include things like event severity, number of deaths, and total trade in various goods. Once the data were collected, they were processed to be modeled. The model works by taking the mean trade across a route and the standard deviation of all trade on that route for all years. A set severity level is multiplied by the standard deviation and subtracted from the mean trade for this route. Any routes that have less trade than this value are labeled with a 1 for that year, while all others are labeled with a 0. This is the predicted value. The severity of the events and the number of deaths caused along with the lat and long pairs for that event form the independent variables, while the dependent variable was, of course, the 0, 1. These independent dependent variables were fed into a deep belief network, a type of neural network, and the routes that were predicted to have a 1 were considered impacted. Finally, the data were visualized. The visualization is a world map showcasing all events and all routes. As you can see here, you can look at a tooltip to see exactly what route is impacted, and you can filter on type of route. You can filter on event to see which events were severely impactful, and you can filter on severity to see the most severe events. And this allows you to see how adverse supply chain events are impacting these routes. Ultimately, it's a great way to utilize data to tell a story because it showcases how conflict events impact the supply chain, and the supply chain is something we all interact with every day. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.